Right, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Time to work on some art. Just barely got home. Got maybe like an hour, maybe 30 minutes to stream for a bit. Just have a chill time, work on something I'm supposed to finish. Right, I was supposed to use muddy colors on this. I'm working on an OTA currently. And I know it'll take a while until people just arrive, but might as well for the context in case someone actually watches this once the stream is finished. Yeah. This OTA is just drawing a character and I offer to draw them in a room, and that's what I'm doing. I've made a room. I've made the line art. Everything is basically done. I just I just need to finish shading. God, it's been a while. It's probably gonna turn so socially awkward because I just did not prepare at all. Came back freshly from school. My voice is absolutely dead because I was screaming lyrics for the band and for the choir. Oh man. Either way, I just hope it'll serve to entertain someone out there. The point is that I'm doing this mostly for myself because I just feel just a mild bit lonely, and hell, who knows, maybe someone actually likes watching my content, so why not? Why not just record it for once? It takes a special day to have the confidence to just press on that start stream button. I am not a very social person, yeah! But oh well. I can work this out. I can just work on stuff I'm supposed to work on anyway. This is the stuff I'm supposed to work on, because it is owed. Yeah, I'm definitely having like one of those off days where I just can't speak into a microphone without making it sound awkward. Oh boy. At least I'm just doing what I like doing. After all, this isn't some serious thing. I'm just doing what I think feels nice, feels right, and something that maybe people want to see. Yeah. I just made a tangent whilst shading a freaking class. Cool. Maybe my brain isn't so distracted today as I thought if I maybe finish this. The problem is I have so many gaps I still need to fill. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a long while. But I can get through it. That's also one thing that I should keep in mind. No gaps here, no gaps here. No gaps there, no gaps here. No gaps anywhere! Good, good. Maybe a little bit, yeah, a little bit less looks better. I'm not exactly the best at shading with muddy colors. I'm more of an artist who uses bright and flashy colors. Because it looks nice. I can't imagine drawing, like, without flashy colors. I am an avid flashy color enthusiast. Plus, I also like adding multiple light sources whenever I have an idea to do so. I honestly think, like, 2 light sources are a bit underrated, because one side has, like, ooh, all the fancy reflections, and it'll make the drawing actually look all fancy and cool and stuff, and, like, I feel like 2 sources of lighting are honestly pretty good. Just straight up, I feel like maybe I should myself draw some more of that. That smudge tool's probably gonna absolutely murder my CPU. I feel bad for my computer sometimes. Really do. I torture it so much with stuff I just want to show people in the world. Ah! Oh well. At least we are having fun when we work on art. That is the important part. God, I definitely woke up with the wrong foot today. I am so awkward right now. Oh man. Oh well, embrace the awkwardness. Embrace being weird. I do wonder how everyone's evenings are going though. Who are like people I'm familiar with. Because I haven't heard much from my friends today. They've been very busy, just like I've been. Ah, busyness. Busyness all around. It's a busy year. It's a terrible year. Whew! 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 Actually, that is a really nice cool tone. I like that cool tone a lot. I should maybe say that actually. Unless that is well, almost, right? Yeah, it's almost the same color. Just the one looks nicer. Alrighty. Here. This needs some wood texturing. By the by, smudge tool is your best friend when you make wood textures. Just saying. It helps make all the swirlies look a bit more believable. I mean, I can draw the swirlies myself, but you know how much easier it is to just freaking smudge that bad boy up and just have a texture automatically? It's pretty nice. Can recommend to anyone who possibly hasn't also tried that. I mean, of course, to those people who do have a smudge tool, I'm I'm not sure if I'm just the one who has like all the fancy tools and stuff because I just use Psy. Well, Psy is a simple program at the same time. I doubt you could call Psy a fancy program because it isn't. Like in comparison to Photoshop and like all the other crap that I've tried before years ago, doesn't have the same vibe. Doesn't hit as hard. Actually, this purple is also nice. Oh, damn it. Which one do we choose now? I mean, the lighting is supposed to be more red, but that doesn't mean all the lighting is supposed to be, like, super red. Ah. Decisions! The panic! The stress! Oh boy! And a little shading here. Give it a bit more there on the edge. Give this a rougher middle one. Yeah, there we go. That looks more closer to like those wood borders. Yeah. I'll add the texture for that later. I might add reflections to that later. Right, this has quite a lack of anything at all. It still looks a little flat and pillow shaded. Pillow shaded. Ooh, good one, good one. She says to herself. Alright, and up here? Yeah. Definitely looks nicer when I just add a tiny bit of definition with some highlights that are just awkwardly placed. I've never been like super precise about my placements, but when I am, I at least know what I'm doing, and then I don't look as clueless, especially like on a live stream. Maybe I should work a bit more calculated on a live stream. Maybe I shouldn't have worked so sloppy and just like have gaps everywhere and then like go, I'll do it later. That is probably not a good look for me. Oh well, we like authenticity here on this channel. Right, there's all those millions of overlays. I always keep forgetting to disable my overlays, and then I wonder why the color looks off. Yeah, gee, I wonder why, artist. It's not like you're the digital artist here that should know every single layer you have. My goodness. To be fair, I am a messy artist, even digitally. I am absolutely the worst when it comes to like sorting all my layers and like keeping everything clean. I'm not that type of person. I am extremely sloppy with my process. I wonder if people can even learn from that in that case, man. Alright, we have some soft highlights here. I forgot my color, damn it. I wish I wouldn't have to constantly color pick because I just have dementia, and I just keep forgetting that I could just basically yoink the color anytime, like save it here temporarily if I have to. Hell, scratch pads exist in this program, and I don't use them. I am quite a brainlet for not using them, I admit. I should definitely be a bit more professional about the way I use this program. It's been several years since I've started using Psy religiously, and it's not been changing. I just added Medibang to the roster in case I need effects and like text and just drawing mangas in it. I wish I could like do exactly the same in Psy, but it's just so hard when like it doesn't have like panel materials. I appreciate Medibang for just automatically giving you like a tiny little grid where you can like draw in like with the traditional the traditional format that usually is used in mangas, like doujinshis and stuff with A5. I wonder even what the A format is in, like, American measurements, because they don't use the A format that Europeans use. They use something else. I think they just measure in inches. I think they just call it inch paper or something like that. Maybe they already have it pre-cut. Come to think of it, that's most likely what it is. It's most likely pre-cut paper. I mean, I don't blame them. I would be just as lazy if I wouldn't know. This is not, like, to roast Americans. This is just that, like, personally, I understand why. Goodness. It's such a fast day, though. It's already 6 p.m. My god. Well, to be fair, I came home at approximately 4 p.m. So, yeah. Kind of expected. Maybe I'm just a dummy for not valuing my time that much. I mean, in general, artists seem to kind of forget what the concept of time is. They just work themselves to death. Unless they're like the polar opposite and can only work 20 minutes, have to like shake out all their like freaking energy and just get freaking going, do some actual work and stuff like that. I could never be like that. Just straight up. I'm way too energetic, but at the same time I'm also way too lazy to get up and just move. I love sitting. I love laying down. My bed is my sanctuary. Ah, what a wonderful time it is to have modern beds that are super fluffy, super comfortable. I don't want to imagine laying just on a brick in like the 10th century out there. Goodness, there's so many things that I do not wish back for from like very, very old times ago. I especially do not miss the theocentric world image that was back then, like, super heavy. Oh, I might as well just explain that one to those who might watch this in the future, and to those just unaware. Theocentrism, at least I'm trying to translate it probably wrongly into English because, you know, I'm in German college. It basically means like having well, let's just say belief of how the world works in a highly religious context. So the Middle Ages, basically. The Middle Ages were like the most prime time of theocentrism. It's honestly really interesting. I wish I could just do like art theory classes all the time. I find art theory so interesting. Problem is just that I suck at explaining and I'm not good at wording things. If only I could fix that flaw, then maybe I'd want to stay in college. Maybe people would make fun of my weird ways of saying things. Oh well. Not everyone can just understand how people work normally. I mean, I am just some basic Susie, but I just don't know how to express myself correctly without people laughing about it and not taking me serious. I wish I could change that about myself, but quite frankly, not everything is changeable about yourself when you cannot. If you can't, then you can't. Simple as that. Might as well maybe get a little bit lazy on this one, because I already have circles enabled. Oh, this needs a bit of more scattering space, needs a bit less shape size. Oh, yeah. Alright, very good. I need lots of, yeah, less spacing. Yeah, exactly. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, my RAM's doing just a little bit fine. Just a tiny bit fine. Phew. I wish my back wouldn't be dying, though. This is what I get for playing the guitar so damn much lately. I wonder if anyone else ever also, like, experiences that. Maybe it's just me, because I sit home all day and do nothing, other than just draw and work on school stuff. Oh well. Oh, speaking of, might as well also tell that little thing. When I was in school today, I finally got my grade back about one of the assignments I finished. And turns out that one is like 15 points. 15 points translates into an A, basically, to English speakers. Yeah, I was kind of shocked, surprised, and in disbelief, all three at the same time. Because goddamn, freaking last year, I had the exact same assignment, right? Draw a character, divert them with fine liner pencils, just dot everything, make everything look proportionate, make everything look nice, etc., etc. Just basic, fancy artist terms. And I finished last year pretty well. I was like done with the assignment, and I just gave it in. And that one got like 14 or 13 points, right? This year got like 15, 14 points, and I wasn't even finished. And I'm just still in disbelief that that happened, because I do not understand how my bad art that isn't even finished gets such a high score, especially because it's not finished. And last year's I finished and I've gotten a lower grade. Like, how's that possible? How can you be like this backwardsly stupid that you're like, I just don't know what to say still. I'm still surprised it got such a good grade. I just wish my normal grades would be just as good as my art grades, man. Well, anyone can dream, but not everyone can achieve, of course. But, after all, you don't have to crush your dreams. You can still keep them, just tucked away safely in your brain. That also works. By the way, can I just mention how absolutely much I hate drawing carpet flues? I am not a fan of drawing fuzzy carpets. They are stressful to make. Probably in production too, come to think of it, beside art. I mean, to be fair, I could just like basically like make all these little half bows and make it look like carpet from like afar. Because that is the plan, but it is so time consuming. I love carpets, but drawing them is hell. And I wish I had a carpet in my room. I would draw on the carpet all the time. Like, not like on the carpet, like, I just sit on it, just vibe, put some music on, and then just do my assignments on that carpet and on the floor. Because I have to do my assignments on my bed, because my desk is too small for, like, A3 paper. My desk, barely fits, like, my tablet and, like, a bottle. That's how tiny it is. I just have to deal with it after all. Because we all can't wish for things we all can't have. Oh well. Not everything has to be achieved. Not everything has to be accomplished in life. Just existing is enough. After all. At least I would like to believe that. I'm not very, like... I'm not a very ambitious person. If it happens, it happens. It's just my life ideology. I don't try to stress too much about things, which I'm horribly fail at, but still, I try. I try my best. Ah, man, it's so satisfying blending everything. I just wish I could blend art forever. I wish my teachers would actually like blended art. They're more of the contrast fans because they like to work with dip pens, and they like to work with just much contrast. I mean, I understand that in real life, there's really heavy contrasts when you draw. I'm not, of course, so extremely dumb to not realize that. I have a mild tinge of an intelligence because I somehow made it into college. But still, I like to believe they just like these fancy tools for the fanciness and just for being fancy. I don't personally think there are artists out there who like genuinely enjoy this without torturing themselves or being like ultra patient. I could never. I am too impatient with myself, and when a line goes wrong, I can't fix it, and it makes me neurotic. I don't like when I can't fix my lines. I much prefer fixing my lines because simply, who wants to see their mistakes eternalized in art? No, I do not. No, thank you. I very much hate that. But after all, I do follow like artists who are a bit more on the let's just be honest, on the hippie side. I'd like to admit maybe a little extreme to like call them hippies, but that's just how I see those artists. They're just massive hippies. They just want peace. They want love. They want everything to be alright. And so do I wish for that. God, do I wish everything could be alright. Oh well, not everything can come true. Also not me trying my hardest to like accidentally too much mess up the floorboard textures here. I am not good at making floorboards. I think that's pretty obvious though. Yeah. Come on, stretch. I need you to stretch. Yeah, there we go. There needs to be so much freaking distortion just for a wood texture to look like a bit realistic. It doesn't need to be like super realistic for me. But I do want the floor texture, freaking not the floor, wood texture to actually look fine. I would really very much like that. It would be so cool. It would be so nice. Zoop, zoop. There we go. Just a bit more. Ooh, drive space looking a bit dry, should I say. If I continue working on the background, I will have to eventually abort and just restart Psy. Because I'd take so much goddamn drive space up with just working on backgrounds. Plus, of course, having a stream open and like a software that like takes all the CPU basically that I require for my art program. Not a fine move, dare I say. Dare I say a very stupid move. I don't even have to dare it. I can just admit that it's a stupid move to do that. When my PC isn't that powerful. I mean, I of course can't expect to like own some RTX 30 gamer PC because I play video games so rarely that it wouldn't even be worth it, I honestly think. But what I do think I should invest in is a good graphics card that can withstand much RAM. My drawings are very costly in processing power. Yeah. Not exactly the best thing to admit that my drawings take a lot of processing power, but oh well. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. I expect it to look worse. Because I'm not a good artist when it comes to floor texturing. Oh well. I'm just glad that it looks a bit better now. I'm usually not good at this. But to be fair, I've been absolutely tryharding at trying to learn perspectives more precisely than last year. Last year I had a vague idea of what perspective is like, but I didn't exactly understand how to use perspective rulers and crap. This year I've learned how to use it, how to utilize it fully, and I mastered all 3 perspectives. That's pretty nice. Yeah. I think I'm one of the lesser people who struggle in art classes when it comes to perspective art. Which I'm glad about. I can be really blessed that I understand this type of thing. Considering it is math. Well, in a sense math. Like, if you think about it, it's technically parabolas, but without, like, all the calculation. Theoretically, you could just, like, take a math equation and turn it into perspective art, if you think about it. That could honestly be interesting. If only I'd be an artist who actually understands how maths work, then maybe I would actually try to do that. It would be pretty cool. But I digress. I am not a smart person. I am, in fact, very stupid. I drank too much stupid juice when I was younger, and I have to live with it. Right, bit more rougher? Yeah, there we go, yeah. Nice. This isn't turning out so bad now. I expected worse. I truly did. Kind of surprised that it looks this well. Problem is, what do I draw for a background? I think I might have to pull up a reference if anything. Well, actually, come to think of it, this should have I mean, actually, come to think of it, yeah, I could just detail the window a bit to make it look like it's like cool and chilly outside and like all fogged up, aesthetically pleasing and crap. That would be pretty nice, actually, come to think of it. Of course, people have to be good at it in order to do that. It is after all 29%. Oh, come to think of it, yeah, this could use a gradient anyway. There we go. Yeah. That makes the window look a bit more lively, just a bit more. Tiny, teensy bitty more. An itty bitty one. Phew. I've been probably on a tangent for a while now. Maybe I should just shut up and let people enjoy just watching this, in case they do want to watch this. It almost looks like snowfall. Almost. I'll just slightly blur that bad boy. Maybe it won't look so snowy, and instead just a bit more washed out. Almost. I would have to overlay it later over a background. I think that's why it won't look good so far. I do have to do everything a bit more precisely, of course, when I draw backgrounds. Softly scraping inside. I'm not good at this. I am not. This could use a bit. I'd like to shade this pot so bad right now. I love shading porcelain. I really do. But I can't do that. I have to focus on the bigger picture. And let me actually admit this as well. I might have not actually told this before. First things first, something I might have forgotten to tell people about. I used to have an art teacher who would like give me lessons every Saturday, and I would just draw at her place. It would be pretty fun. Well, until children came along that were a little too noisy for my taste, of course. I am just an ever so mildly tasteless boomer who doesn't like when children scream, but I digress. This is already getting tangent-y about me not liking kids, which, quite frankly, probably I also forgot to even talk about. Point is, I probably shouldn't talk about that, because I don't want people to feel insulted who might be moms and stuff, but I do not like crotch goblins. That is my opinion. Actually, not too bad now that I added even some rougher shadow. Could use a bit more blending though, because I do not like rough shadows. I like when it's soft. Maybe a little too red still for this room's atmosphere being so bluish. Should be a bit more purple. Yeah, there we go. Now it neutralizes the colors a bit more. I wonder if people can even understand me with the amount of fancy art terms I tend to say on accident. I hope they're not too fancy to a point that I'm like unintelligible. Really hope that won't even happen anyway in some point in this universe out there. I would like to be understood. But I can't guarantee, of course, being understood. We love me some little details. Yes, I do. I wonder if anyone else out there also likes shading just the little things. I adore doing that. I wish I could do it more often, but drive space, not enough. Plus also memory usage, come to think of it. Yeah. I have too many problems that I could solve if I was just rich, but I'm not rich. And I have to live with it. Because, of course, there's nothing going to, like... Hold on, I'm starting the sentence wrong. Nothing... I'm going to achieve nothing by just complaining about not having money. I have money to buy stuff. But it doesn't mean that I need to waste it on stupid stuff, after all. I'm trying to still save up for an apartment, so it would be a stupid decision to just buy freaking, let's just say like an 18 gig memory card that just can handle all the like heavy drawing I do. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to own a powerful graphics card, because after all, it will let me draw how I actually want to draw, because most of the time I limit myself digitally when I draw backgrounds, because simply it takes too much memory to like add a character and draw a precise background. It is frustrating, I'd say, because I'd love to add more details. I'd love to draw to my full potential, but I simply cannot because I'm technically limited. It's not that it's a curse, but I wish I had some more space. That's simply it. To be fair, it's also my fault for drawing in such high detail at the same time. Like, I acknowledge that I just draw way, like, over the top high quality art. It might sound a bit like I'm boasting, but I swear I'm not. It's just that, like, I set my art to, like, a really high standard. Not like in the mental high standard, like in a standard of the pixel quality is extremely high. Because, of course, I want to deliver crisp images. I want to deliver pretty images. I want to deliver, in general, just some good quality work instead of just, like, a focus on the quantity of it. I've never been an artist who focuses on quantity. I prefer I'm not posting for months, but then posting a really good piece once I am actually done working on something bigger. I honestly wish social media platforms wouldn't, of course, encourage, like, chronic posting, as I like to call it. Just being absolutely hobbyless and just having no life and, like, taking a million selfies a day and just, like, sharing pictures of food to your audience. I never got the appeal of that. I mean, sharing food is fine in my opinion. I think that sharing food is actually a pretty good thing, because sometimes people stare at food and they go, "Oh, I'm hungry now, sweet." And there's people like me who struggle with getting an appetite, right? And when I see food posts, I get hungry, and like, it does help in my opinion. I think food posting helps. At the same time, it kind of feeds into social media addiction. God, I sound like a total boomer for talking about it that way. But I honestly think that people are way too addicted to social media nowadays. And it's not like I'm some holy god and that like I'm preaching only pure facts, because I know I am guilty of it myself. I sometimes am just so obsessed with talking to my friends because I love my friends. I love talking to them. But if it's of course a no-go to like start procrastinating, not doing your work, and just like getting super sidetracked when you just do not work on stuff that is important. More important than like talking to your friends on social media. I sincerely wish that in the future we have like more awareness about this type of thing, so that people don't turn just into, I'd almost like to claim monsters, but I feel it's a little too rude to call people monsters just because they're like obsessed with content on their phone. I don't know what to accurately describe it as without making it accidentally like make it sound aggressive, because that is not like, it's not the goal here. I like discussing such things, but of course I'm not sure if I come off as too harsh. Might as well also mention that I hope to God that I'll never become like a super extremely harsh person. While it's true that I want to stay blunt and I want to stay direct, especially with like answering questions, but I can't always guarantee that. Oh, speaking of, I should probably now start to focus a little bit now, because working on very reflective surfaces is like one of my favorite things to do, but I need to focus on that a bit more. Because if I get sidetracked, I have to start all over again, especially on highlights. I am very bad with placing highlights well. Let me just focus on this real quick, and then I'll just go back to my usual tangents. I mean, hell, even if no one's watching me, I'm just talking to myself. That's also healthy. Just talking about everything I want to talk about. That's of course a privilege not all like people who are on social media get, especially like popular celebrities. Nowadays you're not allowed to have an opinion. Okay, I'll stop with the quick tangent. I am gonna focus. I swear I'm gonna focus. Oh god. It's so hard to focus on one thing, seriously. Yeah, nice. Wait, no. This is exactly where I need to focus. Already just forgetting to turn off my transparency when I use the brush. Goodness. Alright. I think I'm gonna make this first section like the soft highlights that are like very, very easily disappearing, and then like I'm gonna make the rough highlights like tiny and stand out, and it'll make the couch look nice and sleek and stuff, and like I want it to look like in my brain. I do wonder if all artists are able to imagine in their brain immediately what the artwork is supposed to look like. Because I usually get like the ideas immediately, and if I don't draw them down, I forget them immediately. It's like dreaming. For me, art process is just dreaming away about what you want to make. I've never been like a person who like directly knows what they're doing, but they have like a vague idea of what they're gonna do. And then it just comes out the way you can imagine, as hard as possible. I have a strong imagination, but I have barely any creativity. I'm a very uncreative person, especially like according to my school grades. When it comes to creativity-based tasks, yeah. Should probably go below that. Yeah. That gives a greater sense of depth to the couch. I wonder if it's even called a couch. I think it's probably called that thing. What was that thing my friend called it? That probably is its name. Is it duvet? I already forgot. I forgot. Alright. Rough highlight time, yes. I like adding rough highlights. They give drawing so much more dimension in my opinion. I think it's soft shading and rough highlights that just I personally adore. I don't, of course, want to go overboard with the harshness because then it's gonna take away all the attention from like the character. And the character is already like in an extremely blue room because the character's colors are mainly purple and blue. That aren't natural, of course, or like the cloth color. Let's see here. Not bad, but the ends could use a bit more less density, a bit more less. Yeah, of course. Just starting oxymorons. Already great start into this whole I'm gonna make this couch look so good thing. And I already contradict myself. Alright, sweet, yeah. That gives it like a nice, rougher feeling. Might even add a between highlight that is like very, very barely visible on edges. That isn't a reflective surface, but it's more of a like highlight. That is just there for like the aesthetic. Alright, reflections are next. Oh shoot, I gotta go. Like, my parents are here. Gotta mute myself real quick. Alright, I've returned. 3 entire grocery bags all alone today, man. Dad just didn't want to help me, and I'm frustrated. Oh well. I've got stuff to work on. Oh, hi AJ. Looks like you already left by the time I sorted all 3 grocery bags out. Oh man. Too much going on today, seriously. It's 42. Yeah, it's been a while ago, probably, yeah. In case you're still there, I'm just drawing, friendo. Nothing special, just the usual. I'm gonna have to probably cut that out in post once this stream is just done processing then. Because I was probably AFK for like 20 minutes because just no one helped me today for groceries and I just did it all by myself. Unlucky day that Dad just didn't want to help me. Oh well. At least I can just focus on this art and the chalky milk I've stolen from the bag. I'm at least glad I got chocolate milk now. If I'm gonna be forced to just sort it all by myself, at least I'm gonna be able to reward myself with it. Of course not on stream, because I refuse to make loud and slurpy noises. That is just gross. There's a time and a place, not on a stream of course. And even if so, I feel like you should just quiet down when you do such things. Really rude to just slurp in someone's ears, even without their permission. I feel so bad for anyone who has to listen to such people who like chew loudly or like sip loudly in class. I have so many noisy people in my class, I hate it. I think the worst noise that I can talk about is just markers. I despise the noise of markers. Markers are like the worst. They're just so scratchy. They make such nasty, high-pitched noises, and it just feels like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's such a horrible noise. I wonder how people manage to just withstand it. I'm not personally a person who like usually has vendettas, but just freaking I have a personal vendetta against people who avidly use markers. Like, I sit right next to two classmates who religiously use markers for everything. And just mark everything. While I'm a person who straight up doesn't use markers at all. And when there is something to write about in color, I write it with, like, just a normal pen. That just uses normal pen ink. Instead of just freaking, markers. I don't know, maybe I'm just an outdated old geezer and doesn't think that markers are hip and cool, but I personally really don't like markers. If I see someone with a marker, I will probably push them, at least away from my vicinity and far away from my ears. Of course, not violently, but I just probably will shove them just a bit in passive aggressiveness, because why did you choose a marker of all things to annoy me with? Like, I get annoyed by so many noises so easily. But markers, the worst, still. I think there's nothing worse than a marker. Besides, scratchy noises, besides a really high-pitched piano sound or a guitar sound, which tends to happen because I'm in a band. So I tend to hear that quite a bit. But still, there's a time and a place. And if you want to jam with someone, then you better be respectful and respect their ears. Says the right person, of course. Whenever I'm in choir, some people have to cover their ears just because of me. I sing very loudly. And when I do sing out loud, I unfortunately damage people's eardrums. I damage my own eardrum, which is the cruel irony of it all. I can't sing without pain, and people can't sing, in peace because of me. I feel bad for anyone who has to deal with me, I really do. Oh well. Yeah, right. There should be a mild reflection also below. It's honestly crazy to think that I learned this from just seeing an apple on a table. Like, low-key, I before, when I was, like, a few years back then, still, like, a fresh artist, at least, like, fresh religious artist, let's just call it that, because I already drew when I was, like, a tiny little child, because I had, like, one of my relatives just draw flowers with me when I was, like, a baby. That's something my parents told me. I didn't even know I had a relative who was, like, teaching me to draw flowers when I was younger. But yeah, that's probably the reason why I draw so many flowers now, constantly. And just add them in every drawing I can, besides butterflies, and me just loving those butterflies, because they're just pretty. But butterflies are so ethereal. Actually, I can change this topic to butterflies. Much more positive, probably, anyway. I honestly think butterflies are one of the prettiest animals out there. I arguably actually don't, like, look at many animals, but I think insects in general are, like, the prettiest besides fish. Or maybe I'm just an avid insect and fish lover. That could also be it. Fish lover. Yeah. Speaking of, I also this weekend have to take care of my aquarium again. I have such rabid plants that just grow like a parasite almost, like I dare say. It's horrible how fast they grow. I always have to cut them. Like, I have to cut them with normal scissors. Why is that bad? Because scissors can rust. And, that way I accidentally jeopardize the only family scissor we tend to use. I don't have my own scissors. I don't have specific scissors for, like, cutting aquarium plants. So, once those scissors break because I made them rust to death, or I overused them in my crafting projects when I was little, I would use scissors like 24/7. Not anymore, because nowadays I understand that crafting just isn't made for me, and I don't have the hands to do such beautiful projects, but I digress. Just so much can be done with scissors, yet we're like that weird family who only owns one set, and if that one set breaks, you just get it like 20 years later, and you still keep using the same blunt scissors. Like, I don't understand why we don't just get a new pair of scissors. I really don't. But yeah, let me just check real quick what the time is like, because if it's an hour, I might just end the stream soon. Ooh, it's been... yeah, I still have a few minutes before I end the stream. I just want to make sure that I don't get in the way of, like, letting my parents watch TV, because I know I take, like, all the internet if I stream. We have a good router, but it isn't made for streaming. It's not like a streaming router. Because obviously my family doesn't even probably know that I I broadcast my screen to the internet, to the magical place they don't know much about. Well, to be fair, my dad knows obviously a bit more than I do, but he's like more on the technical side. I only know how like on the social media side how to behave. Not like side. Goodness, my accent is so weak today. Maybe I should have spoken a bit more English and German. Oh well. At least the couch looks nice now. It has all those reflections I wanted. It looks fancy. Sweet. Maybe if I'll show this to my friend, they'll also be happy to just see some more progress I made. Oh, maybe they'll actually enjoy seeing how I just work on the background. I'm not sure. Maybe they could use this video. I don't know. I just hope that this like maybe can help anyone out there who like is struggling and like trying to replicate. I'm not a very arrogant person. I couldn't even if I wanted to. I already feel rude for bumping into people accidentally or like touching people. I already feel like I should I already feel like a giant sinner when I do that. But perhaps I'm just like extremely sensitive, which is why I honestly feel bad all the time when I talk to people, because I don't want to hurt them. That's not my goal. And when it happens, like I am the most apologetic person probably in the world. Unless this person has hurt me before, then it's